Okay, so hello and welcome with us at our interview with Professor Dr. André Reichel, professor at the university or at the International School of Management in Stuttgart. Welcome at the Social Innovation Summit. We really appreciated your keynote. So, André, what is it that you're doing at the School of Management in Stuttgart, and what motivates you for doing what you do like every day?
So first, thanks for having me here, Live.
Yeah,
what I do is the usual thing that university professors are doing, teaching in our bachelor and master programs, international management especially. We are looking forward to having new programs in the master on digital marketing and entrepreneurship. It might be interesting for you guys here as well. What motivates me are questions about the transformation of our society, of the economy, of businesses towards more sustainability. That is what drives my research since 16 years now.
I see. So in your keynote you coined the term sustainability 4.0, and I was wondering what is sustainability 4.0 all about?
Well, it's not a smart city, smart home or these things.
Yeah.
When I say sustainability 4.0, for me it's on the one hand understanding that sustainability itself has certain evolutionary phases, and we're now really in a phase where sustainability is a normative political reference frame for the entire planet. On the other hand, of course, it is the use of digital technologies within that reference frame. So can there be a digital sustainability beyond things like energy efficiency or material efficiency? And I'm focusing especially on changes in social behavior, in our social practices, how people are starting to think and act differently in a more sustainable manner.
I see. So what kind of problems could occur in terms of digitization or while digitization is taking place? Because sometimes we say that people could suffer from digitization, and you try to turn the narrative into like there is potential to empower people. So what could be possible threats of digitization?
Yeah, I mean, I also try to look at the downsides of it. But when I try to do the positive sides of digitalization, I'm not focusing on the technological aspects. We'll come to this in a second. No, the challenges are, of course, we need lots and lots of materials, lots and lots of precious metals, of rare earth metals that are coming from countries with very difficult regimes, very difficult extraction ways of extracting them, with huge ecological and social baggages, actually. So we have to think about how can we lessen the ecological and social impact of that. The circular economy is one approach. Also having fairer trade regimes is another approach. So we have to think about these things. Otherwise, we are running just from the oil industry into the metal industry, into the new iron age, as I just said it. So that is a danger, and we have to be very clear about these challenges and how to use them productively. So that's the downsides of it.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, but what is the role of entrepreneurs in all of this?
And this is where the good side comes in, or the upside comes in. The positive aspects of digitalization are, of course, that they enable new social behavior, new kinds of how to interact, how to economically interact with each other. There are new potentials for really breaking down the barriers between producers on the one side, active value creating, and consumers, passive value destroying. No, we can have now active prosumers, active networks between producers and consumers, where the roles are not so clear cut anymore. So digital technology, when understood as such a social phenomenon, can have a huge potential for empowerment. But alone, and I just said this in the keynote as well, alone this doesn't mean anything. The question is, how do we use this empowerment? And for me it is very clear, we have to think about ecological and sustainable justice on a finite planet with now almost 9 billion people.
I see. Could you give us an example for an empowerment through digitization?
What's interesting is that with these new technologies, of course, and this comes often from the open source spirit of the 1990s that we have, there is this idea that actually you can create together beyond the market a product. You need your skills, of course, you need the software that you use to build other software, but most of all you need a common understanding why this is good or important, a new meaning structure here. And if we can use this spirit and translate it maybe into things like repairing your own products, or maybe not growing your own food, maybe partly growing your own food. I'm horribly at gardening maybe, but others might be not. But just trying to think, where can we incorporate these new practices in order to make something ourselves, to reskill ourselves, what the sociologist Sennett said, how can we reskill ourselves and take back control from the market? And I think this is an interesting opportunity. How can we empower people? And then they're not just consumers, and maybe not just producers, they become very active citizens in a free society. That is now maybe a bit philosophical, but at the root of all economics is always some kind of moral philosophy.
I see. But then let's break it down to maybe the daily life of entrepreneurs, or maybe also of all of us. Yeah. So we're living in this system which is maybe kind of unsustainable. So how can we break out? So we had this discussion about system change today. Is there a possibility to change, and do we want to change the system, and how can we do it?
That was a curious discussion because a lot of the discussion was about money, but system change never works or doesn't work because there is money or there is no money. If you are starting to play the game like this, you are already just continuing the system somehow. I don't say that money is not important or economics is not important, but if you really want to change something, you should abandon, and this is hard for an entrepreneur, but you should abandon the idea that you, as the individual hero of your own story, can really change society completely. This is maybe a once-in-a-lifetime thing, but even such great entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs or Henry Ford, they had political support. You know, there was political regulation supporting a certain work regime, supporting a certain IT infrastructure. So if you want to really change something for the better as entrepreneurs, as social entrepreneurs, you have to realize that you are political activists for your own cause. And you have to team up with others, and you have to influence politics. You cannot just be entrepreneurs, you also have to be citizens here.
Right, I see. So we're coming to a final part of the interview, and I would just like you to complete the sentences.
Okay,
I'm just reading out.
Okay, good.
So are you ready?
Let's see.
So we're going to start. So the first one is, entrepreneurs are the solution to.
Entrepreneurs are the solution to the problems they first create for themselves.
I see. In 50 years, when we talk about digitization, it will be possibly we will be talking about what exactly?
Like about the good, empowered life beyond markets.
All right. Tech entrepreneurs will likely...
Tech entrepreneurs will likely become old and fade away.
I see. A person I would really like to meet is?
A person I would really like to meet. I think with Stuttgart, I think I would like to meet Robert Bosch and ask him how would he be an entrepreneur in the digital age. That would be interesting.
Awesome. Attending the Social Innovation Summit 2018 is so far?
Extremely great and satisfying, and beyond what I imagined what it would be.
I see. Someone who should definitely attend the Social Innovation Summit 2019.
All the big tech or classical industry companies, especially here in the region of Stuttgart, because here is where we talk about the future, not in their labs.
Professor Dr. André Reichel, thank you very much for having you in this interview.
Thank you, Lars.
Thank you, and hope to see you next year at the Social Innovation Summit 2019.
Thanks so much.